Hi guys, hope you're well today. We are on our fifth part of cake tools and baking on one. I'm so happy that many of you are still on this journey with me. So today we're looking at piping tips. Kuna so many types of piping tips, so many types of sizes too. When you look at these piping tips zenye nimepanga on this turntable, at the top hapo juu kabisa, those big ones zenye ziko flat on top and the ones that are ball like on top, those are called Russian piping tools. To be honest, sijawahi zitumia. But I'm going to try to use them when I'll do a video on how each piping tip works. I will do a video on the piping tips and mostly the Russian piping tips because I know most of us don't even use them. Then this is for all the other piping tips just to see the patterns that we get when we use them. When it comes to piping tips, maybe when I bought them in a whole like baking set. There's this baking set yenye kona like tools, the fondant tools, these piping tips, all of those. It was at around 5,000. It also has the turntable and so many other things. I bought it at around 5,000 shillings and it came with all these small piping tips. So I can't lie to you. I rarely use around like 20% of these small piping tips. I rarely do. But when I use them, it is mostly because of writing or for the small cakes, the 4-inch cakes. So I'm going to bring the video up close so that you can see how these piping tips look like. As you can see, they all have different sizes, different shapes. Hapo juu, some have stars, others are round, others are different angles, so they're totally different. On your right, those ones are bigger ones. At the edge of your right, those are bigger piping tips. So we have a variety of piping tips, and when you're starting, you don't need like all of these piping tips. You just need like the basics. The basics, when you're looking for piping tips, you need to know the numbers. Kama you see, this zenye nimecollect hapa, these are all round tips. But ukiangalia, each round tip is a different size. I don't know if that makes sense. There's a tiny round, then a bigger round, then another round. So they're all different sizes. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Then here we have this thing called a coupler. Most of the times I use a coupler when I want to write. And when I'm using these small piping tips because it's mostly for the small piping tips. How to use the coupler is you take your piping tip and the coupler. When you place this piping tip on top of the coupler, yes, just like that, it has to fit in, and then you can lock it so that the piping tip doesn't move. I'm going to do that using a piping bag too, so that it can make sense. When you take your piping bag, you need to place the coupler inside the piping bag, not closed, the bigger part of it inside the piping bag, then your piping tip outside, then you lock it from outside, that way. The advantage of having a coupler is if you want to use different types of piping tips, but using the same cream in your piping bag, all you have to do is open up a jar, change your piping tip, and continue using the same piping bag. So it helps you not have to use so many piping tips. I'm going to attach here this list of the different names of piping tips so that you can know what you're going to buy. And remember, each piping tip has a different price, especially these big piping tips. The 1M tip, the 6B tip, they all have different prices. So depending on where you're going to buy them, you can just ask and then they will know exactly what you need. When you say you need a 1M tip, they'll tell you the price. A 2D tip, they will tell you the price. So that's it for the piping tips. I will do a video on the decoration of each piping tip. Thank you.